I'd like to call the meeting to order. Just please join me at the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's
Chair,
see.
Chair Kirkley, may I speak, please?
Public matters not on the agenda. Don't think we have anybody here. And then the annual election of planning commissioner.
Chair
chair-
Kirkley, we need to, our city clerk needs to call the roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, call the roll.
And Pam will be calling the roll after each, for each
Yeah.
vote too.
Okay.
It's added to the agenda. It's right there. It says number 1, call to order, roll call, and establish a quorum. May I go ahead?
Yes.
Commissioner Hanson,
Here.
Commissioner Mulvey, Commissioner Trudgeon,
Here.
Chair Kirkley,
Here.
Vice Chair Baggett.
Present.
We have quorum.
Okay, election of the chair and the vice chair.
Want it?
No, go ahead.
I would nominate for Chair Commissioner Mulvey.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
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 You want to do a roll call on that one?
Yep.
All right, let's do a roll call. Let's try to get this meetings last as long as we possibly can, right?
Chair Kirkley,
Yay.
Chair Baggett, Vice Chair Baggett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanson,
Aye.
Commissioner Trudgeon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mulvey.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Are you
Motion
gonna take
passes.
over right now, or you want me to do the vice chair?
Do the vice chair.
Okay, do we have a nomination for vice chair?
You interested? You're still
No.
learning.
I nominate Commissioner Baggett. I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We
Roll
don't-
call.
Commissioner Kirkley,
Aye.
Commissioner Baggett,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanson,
Aye.
Commissioner Mulvey,
Aye.
Commissioner Trudgeon,
Aye.
unanimous.
Right, you're the one, Lucy, take it over.
Need to give her the gavel.
Oh.
The official.
Switch seats.
All right, on to item 3. Any public comment other than the items on the agenda for this evening?
1-5.
No. Okay. Consent agenda. Does anyone have any comments regarding the consent agenda? We make.
I found no problems personally. I'd move that we adopt the consent agenda.
I'll second.
So with the new roll call, am I saying anything or are you just moving to roll calling? We have a primary, a secondary.
Yes, I will go ahead. You can
Okay.
go ahead and let me know and then I will call it.
Roll call.
Okay. Vice Chair Baggett,
Aye.
Commissioner Trudgeon,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanson,
Aye.
Commissioner Kirkley,
Abstain.
Chair Mulvey.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, I'm opening it up to the public hearings. The first on the docket is proposal for the 12 family homes at 110 to 165 Bryson Court. Would anyone like to make comments from the public? Or do you start?
Oh, we'll start with
Would you
my
like to
staff.
start with there?
Yeah.
Alright, staff.
Usually
Start.
let Aaron.
Yep, we'll start with the staff report. So tonight in front of you, it's a site plan permit and a conditional use permit for 12 single-family homes located at 110 through 165 Bryson Court. The 12 lots are currently undeveloped lots.
That's right.
The applicant, Riverland Homes, we have Heather here representing them, is proposing to construct the 12 single-family homes on the existing undeveloped lots on Bryson Court. A little bit of background is the subdivision was originally approved in 2008, and the final map was accepted in 2009. So if you went out and visited, you can see that the improvements are in place. It looks like kind of an abandoned subdivision. The utilities are stubbed out, the curb and gutter are in, the drainage, things like that. So at the time of this area had kind of gone through a few plans, and Commissioner Kirkley may have even been on the planning commission when some of these ideas came through here. At one point, 2003, it was approved for a 22-unit townhome project. And at that time, the property was zoned R4 and C2. The property is currently zoned R3, so residential high density. And they are requesting single-family detached homes, which is actually not allowed by right in the R3 zoning district, but our municipal code allows for a use permit for uses that are not allowed by right as long as they are no more impactful. And in this situation, it's kind of complicated because at one point, it was approved for 12 single-family homes, and then the zoning was changed. One of the other reasons that the applicant is proposing single-family homes and 12 of them is since utilities are already in place, they would have to change utilities around, add more. There's substantial cost to that. They've talked to AWA. I've talked to AWA about it. So the homes range in size from about 1,900 to about 2,500 square feet, and the lots range in size from about 4,500 to 8,300 square feet. They all meet the minimum standards for the R3 zoning district. They are not within the historic district or the Main Street district, and they are proposing 1 to 2 garage spaces per unit. So let's see, one of the models, three of the units have a single car garage, the other have a 2-car tandem garage, and there are 6 parking spots already designated and striped in the cul-de-sac for guest parking. I will say that in reviewing this, parking would have been kind of my only concern. We know what happens with garages. They get full of stuff. Sometimes cars can't park there, but each one of these lots has enough area to be able to park a car in front of their garage too. And some of them may even be able to park two. As the applicant is, the landscaping and site work that the applicant is proposing is just a driveway up to it. That doesn't mean that when the homeowner buys the property, they could expand the driveway and maybe make it so 2 cars could more easily park there. So I don't think that parking needs to be addressed or changed. Their parking requirements need to be changed beyond what is allowed in the code. Let's see. The applicants went through design review and they made the changes that DRC requested, and that was to switch around models because of one of the elevations along Bryson Drive. It was a little bit of a plain elevation, and so they asked to change that. So we had just a little bit more visually appealing elevation along Bryson. They have 3 different models, but 6 facades and color combinations of the 12 units. So DRC believed that that was sufficient to, not look too tracty, I guess would be the way. Like I said, this is R3 zoning. It is within the building height. The setbacks, actually their setbacks are more consistent with the R1. Most of their development standards are more consistent with the R1. And in the staff report, I put in parentheses what the R1 and R2 development standards were versus what is required or allowed in the R3. Staff believes that you can easily make the findings for the use permit that this at one point was approved as single-family residential development. And this is no more impactful than having multifamily, and that utilities are in place. So I did a different little format for the staff reports where I included the findings without any explanation of them. And then I explained them or added explanation that the planning commission could use if they so choose to make those findings to approve the site plan and the conditional use permit. This project is exempt from CEQA because of its size and its infill and the fact that it has existing utilities in place. Yeah, I think I'm covering it all. Does the commission have any other questions from me, or do they want me to walk through any of the plans? I guess I didn't touch on the landscape plan. They are proposing a landscape plan. They have trees, and they're proposing fencing around the structure, around each lot. It's going to be pretty minimal and basic. These are for sale homes, so homeowners can then do what they want to them to personalize them. Any questions?
A question. If the map was approved for 12 single family, how did it get rezoned R3?
I don't know. I couldn't figure that out really. I tried to look back through different land use elements to understand when that happened, and I don't exactly know when that happened.
Wasn't it part of the housing element?
Yeah,
update? 'Cause we
yeah,
needed
like
units.
a couple cycles ago, I think it was part of the housing element update. And that brings up another point. This was identified in our housing element inventory as a site that could hold 30 units, because if it was developed at its maximum capacity, it could. We will note that on our annual progress report to the state next year that it developed out at 12. Technically, each one of these lots could have 2 more units. They could have a junior ADU and an ADU. So we have that, and we had when we had a meeting with HCD a couple months ago, we explained this to them, and they weren't concerned that this was going to cause a big issue.
Right.
They liked that we were seeing some kind of market rate housing.
Movement, yeah. Yeah, I think it's beautiful packet. I know, I'm sure it took a lot of time from everybody. But thank you for kind of getting it all in there. But no, this is exactly what I love seeing. I'd walk by this park all the time.
Yeah.
So it's just be great to see this lot be used. So very excited personally.
Yeah, and Riverland Homes has been very quick with everything, so I think
Awesome.
we would anticipate that this is gonna, if approved, will move forward pretty quickly.
Thanks for being here though, just in case. Well, not hearing anything.
Do we have any comments from any of the commissioners? Anything they liked, or move ahead with a motion?
I'd be happy to make a motion personally.
Well, I'll say that I liked the packet too. It's well just explained. I think it meets the overall plan. I like that it's infill. I think that it's also something that is in harmony with the general plan as well as something that's needed. So I have no questions regarding it. I agree with the findings in the report. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Tommy's going on it.
Go.
Can. I move that we adopt the conditional use permit and the site plan for 110 to 165 Bryson Court in agreement to all of the findings.
Do we have to make findings first?
I
No.
heard findings within
Okay.
the discussion, I think.
Does anyone want a second?
I'll second.
And you've got the conditions of approval too.
Yeah, I did the conditional use permit and the site plan.
And
And then we have a second.
Robert has a second on it.
We
All
have
right, roll call.
Vice Chair Baggett,
Aye.
Commissioner Trudgeon,
Aye.
Commissioner Kirkley,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanson,
Aye.
Chair Mulvey.
Aye.
Thank you. Just unanimous.
Thank you.
Possibly.
Yes, we are always looking for.
Great.
Apparently, we need some multi-family.
size.
All you
Size
have
is
to,
perfect.
all you have to do is build it. We approve a lot of
Yeah.
things, but nothing gets built.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, this subdivision was approved 20 years ago.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. We
Thank you
excited.
for a nice, easy read plan.
Yeah,
yeah.
super exciting. Hopefully
Alright.
sell super quick for you.
Well, moving on to the second item, public hearing regarding the short-term rental permits for 44 Opal Street and 70 Hayden Avenue. Do we have staff comment?
Yeah, so this is something new, and the purpose of this hearing is to provide the owner or operator an opportunity to show why their permits should not be revoked, and because they have not complied with the requirements of short-term rentals, and in this case, it was lack of reporting. And I think this really came to as the discussion in this at the city council level regarding short-term rentals and the cap. Do we put a cap? Do we limit the number? The accounting of this all between Mason and I and Tom, looking through them, trying to understand what our actual short-term rental number is versus what it says on paper, because I think it was showing on paper about 20, but when we started to dig deeper into it, it's more like 12 to 14. A couple of them are on the market or have sold, some are long-term rentals, things like that. So that is how this came up a few months ago. The municipal code does allow us to hold a public hearing and revoke short-term rental permits as needed. And in this case, like I said, they had not been reporting. The finance department had reached out to them without any response back. Once they got the notice that we were considering revoking the permit, they did turn in their forms. And they reached out and unfortunately they were not able to be here tonight, but have sent a message that they've asked me to relay, if that's okay. That they are supportive either way, and they understand. They also are committed to supporting the revenue and well-being of Sutter Creek, and they do not want to impede this by holding on to permits if other operators would be using the permits. I mean, at this point, we do not have a real cap. So it's not that we have a list of people that are ready to open their short-term rentals and start generating TOT for the city. And that's what they said. That's the message they asked me to relay to you. So
Can I add a few comments? Yeah, so there's a requirement of monthly reporting. And I think it was a year or more with like nothing. And there was multiple attempts to reach out. We sent certified mail finally. So it's kind of the situation of somebody being highly not responsive, just so you guys understand.
So I guess the question I have is, I know the couple, I know the history of both of these places. And if you have a short-term rental permit and you go inactive, do you still have to report or you?
yeah, so
Okay,
the-
even though you have
zero.
zero,
You
Yeah,
can just
you
report
supposed to
zero.
report zeros.
and you can still maintain your?
Yes.
Okay,
Because we don't, in this, it's being discussed at city council, like, are we going to allow that to go on forever? If we limit them, you wouldn't want to allow that to go on forever, but that is not a regulation now. So if they had just sent in a zero every month,
gotcha.
we wouldn't really be here.
Okay.
Would this be something that you write into late fees or fines or future changes to the plan?
I think what we've kind of talked about with the planning commission or city council before is those that are just holding on to their permits, if we have a cap and those are just holding on to them and are not generating TOT for the city, nor are they renting them out to long-term rentals,
Okay.
kind of not, there's not much benefit then. So
We can
at that
revoke.
point, we would review and revoke their permits.
There's
You know, I
also
think
been a
we
lot
kind
of,
of got these people's attention. And,
Right.
you know, we just hope that people are more communicative when they, you know, oh, I'm gonna do a remodel, or my sister's staying there for 6 months. That's easier than us having to kind of chase them down. And then they're not the only people. People do takes a few notices sometimes for them to,
I mean, the other part of
respond.
the council discussion, which we hadn't really talked about at all, is putting some things in the ordinance on the reporting, the ability to do audits. There's kind of a feeling that people may be under-reporting. So it's
Mhm.
all on the honor system right now. If you,
Well,
you
thank
could
you
say
so-
0 and
for
rent.
doing
but-
this. I mean, it's great to know true numbers, especially as we continue to look at this. So we really appreciate it.
But if they advertise through Airbnb or VRBO, don't those agencies collect the TOT to the city?
They do not, there's a recent state law that passed that would require Airbnb to report to the cities, but that's tied up in lawsuits
Oh,
with
okay.
big cities. So we're waiting for that to resolve.
so they collect the TOT, but that goes to the property owner.
Oh, okay.
And when I was in Plymouth, I spent, gosh, days probably trying to get a hold of someone at Airbnb asking, can we do it differently?
Yeah.
But
Because,
They will with big cities, but they don't tell you where it comes from. They just give you an aggregated check.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So,
Yeah, I thought they paid directly to the entity that they serve, so.
yeah, it would make it a lot easier if they did.
You know, I don't know what's going on, but there's two on, oh gosh, now I forgot the name of the street. Green,
Stone
Greenstone.
that are for sale.
One sold and
Sold.
someone moved in. It looks like full-time resident. The other one's for sale. So
Yeah.
there may
those-
be two more coming.
Those are two that were on kind of, we asterisked on our list of, we
Okay.
know these are coming off because they're not transferable permits.
Correct.
So I kind of would like to edit my recommendation. I think since they have been responsive, I would hope that the commission can take all that information and make whatever decision they like. But
It's nice that they're open to either option.
yeah,
Any comments from other commissioners? I personally, since they have responded and there isn't a cap right now, assume that they move forward with compliance, or at least say we don't plan on renting out the next 3 months, so mark it as zeros. I don't.
so I guess one thing I'd like to throw out, and Aaron and I hadn't talked, I mean, council's struggling with the ordinance. They may just come back with another cap. So
Yeah.
I do think having active units is important. So if you do not want to revoke right now, maybe in your motion, you could quantify what you just said, like give them 3 more months. And if they don't do it in 3 months, then it revokes without having to come back to you guys or
Okay.
something
it-
like that.
Is the council looking at not only just reporting goose eggs, but actually, if you're really going to use it, it should be generating TOT, right?
That's
mean-
really the focus. It's really been more about things you guys have talked about, density in neighborhoods and where do we want them,
Okay.
how many.
Right, but
um,
if you have people just to get one and they're not transferable, so you're not really adding value to your property if you can't transfer it.
So again, I think this ability to revoke is important if
Yeah.
people are just sitting on them.
Yeah.
So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, it just seems like if they really are going to be a bona fide short-term rental, it should show activity. If they're not, I don't know.
I
That,
think one of these was
Yeah.
a couple of years, right? More than a year.
yeah, they,
Okay.
Said May 2025.
what's that?
The OPA one had some income coming in, but it's been since May
Oh, okay.
2025.
Gotcha.
It's been over a year since both of them have had any rentals or reported rental.
And that's the hard thing is, I mean, they pay fees to get this. And we didn't have at that point any stipulations that they had to
Right.
generate a certain dollar amount to keep them.
That's true.
It's more for me, it's the reporting. I mean, staff is constantly having to chase these people down
Right.
and they're not doing anything, then it should just be automatically revoked, in my opinion. If you haven't given a report in 6 months and there's been 2 notices from staff, it should-
So
but
can we put a condition then, if it goes 3 months without reporting, then it's automatically revoked?
I don't think we can do that without, we could do that in an ordinance, I believe, but I don't think we could do this
Why can't you do a conditional?
I think you could. I think you could.
with this one, not with.
Yes.
As a
Jeff
part of this
putting it
hearing,
in.
you could say, we don't want to revoke it today, but,
Should 3
To
months?
be reevaluated in 3 months or something to see. if
or just failure to be compliant for the next 3 months, then it would be revoked.
And so if they report 0 for the next 3 months, like other people in the city do with theirs, we let it keep going, or we want to see them actively using it?
Well, since there's no cap, why
Well, there's
close the-
nothing we have no ordinance. There's
Yeah.
no way to hold
Yeah.
them to
Okay.
that.
That's what I would say.
I don't think we can force
Okay,
anyone
let's
to.
just do it in there as long
No.
as they're compliant.
So the compliance.
Because they're saying they had a long-term renter in there, and then they had, this is the handwritten note in the
Yeah.
packet. And then on the other one, on Hayden, they had a furnace, gas, fireplace repair. That took a long time.
I personally, because there's no cap, other than wasting city's time, and maybe putting, like I said, a condition on it that if they fail to comply in the next 6 months, we can revoke it. But other than that, I don't see the reason to revoke it. It's not holding up, limiting. Don't they have to pay an annual fee anyway?
They pay a business license.
Yeah, so that's revenue, whether they're using it or not.
So it's not right.
I'll make a motion to, uh, that requirement that, give them 3 months to, report. If they don't report, 0 reporting in 3 months, that it'll be revoked. Or I guess it would have to come back.
No, we can
Could be
build it in,
revoked.
Tom said,
Okay, then it would be revoked after 3 months then,
with no reporting.
So if
No.
it's
with no report.
reporting 0 or not reporting at all.
As long as they're reporting.
No, is they have to report. There's
Okay.
nothing on the books
Yep,
to say
okay.
they can report 0 and they're in compliance.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Second
wait,
that
one
motion.
sec. Oh, yeah. Tom seconds it. All in favor, roll call.
Microphone, hello. Commissioner Hanson,
Aye.
Commissioner Kirkley,
Aye.
Commissioner Trudgeon, Vice Chair Baggett,
Aye.
Chair Mulvey.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The last item on the agenda is the administrative portion, 2025 Housing Community Development Annual Progress Report. Do we have staff
Yeah.
comments? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, just briefly, so the State Housing and Community Development Department requires that we submit a housing element annual progress report every year, the APR. And in that report, we show what we have entitled, what we have issued building permits for residential units, what we've issued building permits for, and what building permits we have finalized. And they also want to see our progress on our housing element programs. So this, let me see. The report is attached in my, and last year we had credit for 4 new units. Two are a duplex that is moderate in price. Something I did differently this year is I reached out to the property owners and I asked them if they would be willing to provide me information, whether they were going to rent or sell the unit and their rates. The state provides us with a affordability calculator. You put the square footage, the bedroom size, rent or sale price, and then it pops out what the affordability is. So I received 3 responses back. one at a single, an ADU and then one for a duplex. The ADU was not going to be rented out for profit, so it actually counts as a extremely low. And then the duplex was the moderate. And then we had a new house that I did not hear back from them. And based on the size, the location, I counted it as an above moderate home. So we had 4 units this year. And let me zoom in a little bit. This thing, I can't read it. Of our 56 total units that the state has required us to build over the planning period, 2021 through 2029, we have done 18. So we are making progress. We'll have 12 units to add to our APR next year. So
Yeah.
you just entitled to 12 more units, which is great. The other thing that we report on is our programs, and I've just pulled out a couple programs in the staff report. One is that the countywide housing working group continues to meet and kind of work on problems together, since I think problems are pretty universal across Amador County. That was one thing that the state wanted us to see. We added information about accessory dwelling units to the city's website. The DRC continues to review historic structures and the preservation of them. The big, huge one for us is the Danco supportive housing, and the city was able to assist them in obtaining their grant funding for that. That was a really big one, actually, and maybe even the bigger one is the water and wastewater infrastructure and all the work that Tom's been doing on that to get the improvements and expansion of that. And also the Nexus study, which will help to revise our fees so we can continue to grow and expand and maintain and all those things.
Is that being documented on the city website? Because I feel like there's a big lack of communication
About
regarding.
which one? Danco, the water?
No, the water sewer situation.
We're in the midst of a website transition, so we're
Okay.
going to be on a new platform in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I think you're correct. There's a bunch of information that's not there right now.
I think Tom does his walk and talks with the city manager and
Good.
tries to get some of that information out through social media too, but
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not a replacement probably for the documents themselves.
yeah. So overall, I'd say the city is doing just fine on our annual progress report. Like I mentioned earlier, Tom and I met with HCD on our last month on our 2024 APR, and she didn't have many things to say. She asked us to explain more in detail on our reporting on our program. So I tried to do that. I apologize if there's any spelling mistakes. It will not let you spell check the document. The state has it like so locked down that you can't spell check it. So I apologize for any of those, but I really tried to expand more on what we have done over the last year.
If we don't meet that 56 target, what are the implications of that? Because just statistically looking at it, we're past the halfway point. At
Yeah.
the end of next year, we'll have 2 fiscal years and almost 50% remaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying with the 12, we're at 30 of 56. So it's just over half if you do the math.
Yeah, and we have Danco, which we have not. It has been reported on previous APRs as entitlements, but we'll be able to show permit and possibly finalization, or at least permit this year and maybe finals next year for that. So there's
Okay.
43 units
Okay.
there. But what the state wants to see that we are removing any constraints to constructing housing. The city is not in the business of building houses. Like
Yeah.
we don't build them. The developers, the market drive that. So they want to see that we are making it easier for them. So you let the state know how easy we are. And that we've removed any constraints. We've done the rezoning. We have adequate sites within our city to accommodate these units.
Okay.
It's whether
Yeah, if I could,
developers come to build.
It just seems very low.
so if I could, make a comment. It used to be no repercussions, and this element, the state has really changed, and they have like this enforcement division. A lot of cities have thousands of units, right? So I don't think they're gonna come after Little Sutter Creek,
Yeah.
but I think you will see repercussions where there's even a threat of losing control of your zoning as a city. And so they're definitely threatening cities with repercussions this time.
Yeah, but if you have, like you mentioned, Aaron, you've got, I've been involved in this for a long, long time, and we have all kinds of, even disregarding Gold Rush, there was enough inventory in the existing to build out for the next 40 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's Crestview 2, there's Powder House. We have all kinds that are zoned, but it's market driven,
Yeah.
you know. Well, I think the Rancheria owned this property
Yeah.
for quite a few years. Dave Seidel was the one that developed it. He was a builder. And that's right when the downturn, when he
Yep.
got the approval, and then the Rancheria bought it and sat on it. And the Rancheria owns Powder House.
Yeah.
But they have said they don't want to do any more development, and even
Right.
talking about a path through there.
And they won't sell anything.
Right.
And
They
then-
want to
and-
keep it as pasture land.
And then Crestview Crestview 2 has had a for sale sign on it forever, and that would be an easy one to develop.
Yeah.
So there really aren't any constraints. It's just I guess it's an economic constraint on the developer.
Exactly. We are ready to process these
Right.
entitlement applications when they get here. We are improving our water and wastewater system so we can take the
Accommodate.
capacity. We are doing what we can do. We're just waiting on the.
The state just has to pay for our wastewater plant. Right.
So I'm asking for the blessing to bring this to the city council to accept it, and then I will submit it to the state. It's due by April 1st.
I will bless / nominate that we accept this
Yeah.
element.
Any seconds?
Second.
All right,
Roll call.
all in favor, roll call?
Go ahead. Vice Chair Baggett,
Aye.
Commissioner Trudgeon,
Aye.
Commissioner Hanson,
Aye.
Commissioner Kirkley,
Aye.
Chair Mulvey.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, with no items left on the agenda, any other administrative items anyone wants to address? Nope. All right, I call a meeting adjourned.